Namaskar everyone. I'm Suhas, the holistic skin specialist. I saw a client yesterday. I greeted her by asking, "Why are you so angry today?" She realized that I'm teasing her as her skin all over was red with a rash. She too replied playfully, saying, "I'm angry with this rash. Can you help me?" Let's talk about anger today. As I always say, all and every emotions affect our skin health always. Anger is not easy because we cannot cut off those people from our life easily. Why? Because basically we get angry with the people we love. We expect certain things only from our loved ones. I've learned that people do not make me angry. They just remind me of the anger that already exists within me. After learning this, I started keeping a journal about my anger. I started noting who or what made me angry on that day, what that particular situation made, why that particular situation made me angry, which other feelings came up with the anger. When I get angry, is it because I'm actually afraid or scared? Am I feeling vulnerable and don't want to show it? Am I deeply hurt or crushed by grief? What do I hope to change? What am I righteously angry about? I also started feeling and assessing my body to learn where I'm storing my anger. For me, it was my heart. Then I started thinking deep. Is there any way I could shift so I show up with love, compassion, and non judgment instead? How can I let go of anger? How to love through anger? Then I ask myself if I need a physical or verbal release. Sometimes writing on some paper about how I felt helped. Sometimes I needed to do Kundalini yoga in order to release my anger. Sometimes a long walk helped me release the tension. I also noted how much time I needed to dwell in those thoughts of anger and then to get over it. Sometimes I was a boiling volcano and sometimes I was a lit candle. I needed a way to vent out my anger. Sometimes words came out very disorganized way, not in a nice way. I also learned that anger is a part of my life experience. My anger is a part of me. My anger is not wrong or bad. Eventually, I welcome it and I'm grateful for it as I'm experiencing self awareness with my anger issues. Anger is part of growing and it is also part of self love. I also noticed sometimes I got over my anger quickly when I had a great listener. My expectation from my friends and family was to listen without judgment or without trying to fix the situation, to accept my imperfection in the moment. When I was calm, sometimes I was open to feedback. Anger is an emotion which can become a profound catalyst for transformation if you use it constructively by responding in a civil manner. Or anger can be a feeling that leads to bitterness and resentment. When I read books about counseling training 5 years ago, one thing I learned was that depression can result from unexpressed or unacknowledged anger. Anger can go inwards or outwards. It can become the fuel to your fire, driving you ever higher towards more meaningful goals. But left alone, it can become toxic. People often have difficulty expressing their anger and end up holding it in instead of, instead of letting it out in manageable ways. Unfortunately, suppressing anger can lead to health issues like headaches, stomach aches, and even more serious illnesses. Instead of bottling up anger, learn how to let it out in non aggressive ways. Also, learn to recognize your physical signs of anger, such as headaches or tense muscles. Then try to determine the cause of anger and take steps towards resolving it. I think it's important to talk about anger. We tend to boil up, get angry, and find evidence to even justify our anger. So not only we are angry, but we have a right and a reason and a justified purpose for being angry. Of course, it does not help anyone. Why does being mad at them actually hurts you? Do you want to know what the ironic thing about that is? The anger, the resentment, frustration, worry, doubt resides in us and actually affects our biology. It affects us more than it does the other person. So, in this way, while we feel like we have a justified reason to be angry, we are just finding more ways to hurt ourselves in the process. That anger lives in us and affects how we feel every day. There are plenty of times when it's appropriate to get angry, but staying angry for long periods of time is another thing. Staying angry, holding grudges, etc., is choosing the pain of being unhealthy. So, my suggestion for you today is love yourself enough to let it go. Love yourself enough to choose being kind over being right. Love yourself enough to not need to justify response and simply just let it go. Reclaim your life. Express love. Sometimes people try to justify their anger by passing it off as just their passion. But does passion need anger? Anger is a strong feeling of displeasure or disapproval towards someone or something, usually combined with the urge to harm. While passion is any great, strong, powerful, loving emotional expression towards something or someone, to experience a passion is to be extremely agitated in a nice way. So, no, we do not need to be angry to feel our passion. In yoga and Ayurveda, the fire element is linked to digestion. It invites us to digest the issues and emotions in healthy ways so that they can nourish our bodies and minds. Too much fire, however, can be overwhelming and cause anger, judgment, or verbal attacks. Work on Vata and Pitta dosh to help yourself with anger issues. I've also learned that in Chinese medicine, when the flow of liver energy is not smooth, we tend to feel angry, irritable, and restless. Over time, this liver key stagnation can lead to overstimulation of the sympathetic nervous system and elevated cortisol levels, and therefore greater stress, all of which can compromise our immune system. According to Chinese medicine, anger is an integral aspect of wood element. Now I would like to suggest few things which can help to deal with anger. One thing is, as I mentioned in the beginning, you can keep a journal like me. If you are working on anger issue, balancing and clearing energy of root chakra may help. Sanskrit name for root chakra is Muladhara. Bij mantra, literal translation is seed mantra for Muladhara is Lam, Lam. Working on Muladhara or root chakra may help while you are dealing with anger. Also incorporate meditation and relaxation into your life and do breathing exercise. This can help bring calmness throughout your body, especially when you feel anxious or upset. I have learned one deep breathing exercise. Mentally say, breathing in, I'm aware of anger. Breathing out, I let it go. Breathing in, I'm aware of anger. Breathing out, I let it go. With each inhalation, feel the anger. With each exhalation, feel the emotion leaving your body. By paying attention to your anger, you are allowing it to dissolve and pass away. Happy holistic health, everyone. If you would like to book a consultation, please email me. Remember that skin is the soul of beauty.